Hello everybody and welcome to this very special episode of House Rule, where we are checking out the brand new Kickstarter game from Mythic Games, Super Fantasy Brawl. So we got a chance to check this out at the UK Games Expo, did we, Tom? And I mean, for me it was one of my favourite games we previewed on the day, I would say.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed this. This was the first game we played at UK Games Expo this year, and I definitely wanted to go back and play it throughout the day.
If we'd been there for longer, we said we were going to go back and play another game.
Definitely.
But we've been lucky enough that the Mythic Games guys have sent us over this preview copy so that we can shoot this video and you can learn a little bit more about the game. Now, as I say, this is still in pre-production, so nothing here is final. Especially the most noticeable thing is that we're using these standees in place for the characters. Now, the actual game has probably some of the most awesome minis I think I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, they look great. They're nice, bulky characters. They're a nice... I'm not quite sure of the scale, but they are big. They're bigger than like a Warhammer. They're a bit bigger than a Warhammer 40,000 miniature or something like that. They, you know, Goldar over here gets to dwarf the Space Marines, which is always cool to see. So yeah, I'm really excited about this game. A little bit of the... We'll do a real quick talk about the story.
Sure.
So... The game, what I like about it, it doesn't take itself too seriously. I mean, it takes place in a world called Fabulosa, where the world was at war for hundreds, if not thousands of years. All nations just brawling against each other.
Of course.
Hence the name, you know. But then the wizards discovered that by combining the three forms of magic, they could create what I believe was called true magic, which allowed them to do what they wanted. So... If people were fighting over food or land, the wizards would just make more, which was great for the people. But eventually, people started to get a little bit bored, especially the wizards, because they could do whatever they wanted. So they started talking amongst themselves and arguing, and trying to work out who the greatest warriors of all time was. Long story short, they thought, well, why don't we find out? They went back in time to all different periods of time, started grabbing these awesome warriors up, you know, warriors, magicians, all types, bringing them forwards and then entering them into this massive brawl against each other. So the different wizards would each have their own team, which they send in against each other to try and decide who had the greatest warriors. I believe each of these warriors has been promised something back in their own time if they win the Super Fantasy Brawl, and that is the setup. So it's kind of a crazy world full of all different kinds of creatures, monsters, characters. So to play the game, basically what you're doing is you're drafting 3 characters each. You then build a deck. Well, you don't build a deck. Each character comes along with 6 cards. So when you choose your 3 characters, you get their 6 cards, giving you 18 altogether. Shuffle them together, and that is your deck for the game. So shall we start out with? Should we get on with it? Sure. With the draft. As I say, remember, these are not final components. These standees are going to be replaced by some awesome minis, which I'm going to put up on screen right now, Tom.
Definitely. Yeah.
Now,
they are cool.
When Alan's editing this, he's going to put it up on screen. So there we go. Right. Yeah. So Tom, would you like to draft first?
Okay. Well, my favourite one at UK Games Expo was Xu Zhao. So I'm going to pick.
Do you think that's the correct pronunciation of that name? We'll say
I hope so.
Because you say it in a real confident manner.
Xu Zhao.
There we go. Right, okay. So I am going to take a character that we didn't get a chance to try out there, but I've been really excited about. Looks really cool. Raph. So I'm going to go with Raph. He's a kind of a mole assassin, because, you know...
They're the best assassins.
Not only rats get to be assassins, sometimes moles do too.
Yep.
Okay, over to you, Tom.
Okay. I think I'll pick someone new as well, actually. I'll pick... Kalel.
Right, so she's what appears to be some kind of gnome riding a really gompy looking dinosaur.
Yep.
So there you go. Right, for my next choice, I'm going to go with the Warden of the North. It's not Ned Stark. It is Dogrun. So the little dwarf, the angry dwarf who comes with some awesome defense. Right, make your last choice.
I think I'm gonna go for Darren, because I used Darren at UK Games Expo again, and I quite enjoyed using her, so I'll pick Darren.
Okay, and for my last, it's a hard choice. I don't think I fancy playing support, so I'm afraid you're out. But these three are all quite tempting. I think though, because I think he's my favourite mini. You know, what better a reason? I am going to go with Goldar. So, Goldar, who is I love this, he's the Scourge of the several seas. We don't know how many seas he's the Scourge of, but some of them he is the Scourge of.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so this is our team of 3. 3 each. That means we now have to take our 6 cards each, shuffle them together, build our deck. So, let's clear this space off a little bit. We'll come back once we've shuffled up those cards.
Sure.
Cool. Okay, so we've got our characters. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to put down some challenges. Now, these are the main way to win the game. It's not just about beating the hell out of each other's characters. Because if you do lose a character, they will leave the board, but then they get brought back on afterwards. You will gain 1 point for that. The objective of the game is to be the first person to reach 5 challenge points. The main way that you do that is through completing these challenges. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to reveal the first 2 challenges. So, control the manipulation area. So, manipulation is this over here. Now, in the final version, this does appear to be purple right now. In the final version, it will be blue. So, to control the manipulation area, you have to have more characters in it, more of your heroes in it at the beginning of your turn than your opponent does.
Yep.
Okay, so into these areas. Okay, so this one is currently worth 1 point.
Sure.
Now, the next one, which currently is worth no points, takes a turn to come in, is the Lay of the Land. Have 2 or more champions in trap hexes. So, for that one, you've got to actually be moving your characters into traps, but at the same time it means moving your opponents into traps might be bad for you.
Yep.
So, let's get this first player marker out of the way. Right, so now we've got our first couple of challenges. Now we get to lay some traps. So, shall I lay the first couple?
Sure.
Okay, so, traps come in all types, always bad. So, you can lay them in any of these markers, any of these spaces marked with the trap symbol. So, I'm going to put them over here near you.
Okay.
So, now you get to place 2.
Well, I'm going to almost do the same, but I'm going to spread mine out.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so now all the traps are out and we know what our challenges are. We each draw 5 cards. So, drop to 5. And at this point, you can mulligan as many cards as you like out of your starting hand.
Okay.
So, I am going to...
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm going to mulligan this. Go to ground for Wrath.
Yep.
And I'll draw a new card.
I think I will get rid of just one. I'm going to get rid of... Oh, actually, no. Yeah, I will. I'll get rid of Kalel's Mighty Jump.
Okay.
I don't really want her to jump in straight away.
Yeah.
So I will save that and I'll draw 1 more card.
Okay. So, now that we've got our cards, we are going to go over to the placement. So, first of all, I'm going to put... Let's get Wrath over here on the left, Goldar in the middle, and why not put Duggar on the right?
Okay, cool. So I'm going to put Kalel in the middle. I'm going to decide to put Darren right behind.
Yep. It's a bit of backup here.
Yeah, and Kalel and Shujao might try and go for this objective here, or this one here, sorry, to collect the manipulation area.
Yeah, it's easier for you to get round to that manipulation area. Okay, so first player, we'll toss for it. Red or blue?
I'm going to go with red.
Blue. I will go first. Okay, so for my first action, okay, I'm going to play Onwards with Duggarin, which is a movement of 1. Draw 1 card.
Okay.
And now each ally may dash 1. So
wow.
Move 1 forwards as well.
Sure.
So we're gonna start moving up a little bit. So sorry, that's used my creation magic. Okay, let's use Harpoon Strike next with Goldar. So Goldar's gonna move into here. 2, so going to do a movement of 2.
Sure.
He's then he's got a range 3 attack which is going to damage you for 1. Now, at this point, if you want to use a reaction, if you have one, you can use a reaction.
No. I'm afraid I can't.
No? No reactions?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So that's 1 damage. Then, after that, after the attack, pull 2.
Okay.
So he's going to get pulled towards him.
Yep.
Pulled to here. But because he now can't move into him, he's going to take another 1. So it's another damage.
Yep.
So you need to take 1 more damage.
Damn it. Okay.
Okay, and now for my next action.
Don't forget to flip your red one.
Flip, so now I can only use some manipulation magic. Yeah, I'm just going to use Shield Slam to basically move Dugran 1, and then he gets to dash 2.
Okay.
So 1, 2, and now each adjacent enemy suffers a push of 1. So it's only Kalel, so she is going to get pushed into the side of the board, giving her 1 damage because she can't move. Okay. Anytime a character can't move, can't take a push or a pull, they suffer damage, and that also mitigates round defense if they have defense. So that is my 3 used. I now discard the rest of my cards.
Yep.
And draw back up to 5. And reflip my magic back over.
Okay, so it's over to me. Sure. So I'm going to choose to use focus with Xu Zhao.
Yeah.
So he can focus. What that's going to do is going to allow him to move 1. So although he's already taken 2 damage, he can move 1 space, and all my other teammates will gain 1 extra damage and 1 extra space to move.
Okay.
And we do have a challenge to stand on 2 traps. So I think, do I go for the trap?
Remember, that's not worth any points right now, but it will become worth some points next turn. Chuck them with the traps, Tom. Go on. Chuck them in.
Let's do it straight away.
Okay, so jump on in 1. Now let's see what this does to him.
Uh-oh. So he is stunned.
He's stunned, which means that you need to discard a card for him.
Ooh. Okay.
Now, what actually, first of all, what happens as well is that this now is gone, and you have to place a new trap token.
Okay.
On another spot.
Okay.
There should always be 4 traps on the board.
Okay, I'm going to place it behind.
Dugran.
Okay. So now all of my teammates are getting 1 more damage and can move an extra space.
Yeah. Did you discard your card for...
Oh, yeah, sorry. So I'll discard this one. Challenge. Okay, and then I'm going to use Kalel. Well, I'm going to use Tongue Lash, which allows me to move 1.
Yeah.
But because of focus, I can move her an extra 1. So she's going to move to here.
Yeah.
She's going to attack Goldar, which has a range of 3. He's in the range. Does 1 damage plus 1 because of focus. If the damage was dealt, I will pull 2 and then stun you.
Okay, well, I'm going to use a reaction called Hold Ground, which means the target cannot be displaced by this attack. So I'm going to flip that, because I now don't have access to my destruction next time. So you've done the 2 damage.
Yep.
So you've done 1 damage increase to 2. Goldar does have an armour of 1, so he's only going to take 1 damage.
Okay,
and that's all that did, right?
Yep, because he can't be displaced, so that's all we can do there.
So now you've got your destruction magic to use.
Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it there for this turn.
Okay.
Pass it over.
Okay, right, so now the first thing that happens is, because we both activated, the challenge board moves along. So control the manipulation area is now worth 2. Beyond 2 traps is now worth 1, and a new challenge has arrived, which is have 2 or more champions adjacent to Esme's statue. So right now, I have 1 adjacent to the statue, because Esme's statue would be here.
Yep.
But it's not currently worth any points.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're back over to me, yeah. Right, this could be bad. This could end badly for me. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Knockdown.
Okay.
So Knockdown is my creation magic. So I'm going to move in Dugran 2. 1, 2 over to here. He's going to do 2 damage. Unless you've got a reaction that you want to use.
No.
No?
Still no.
Okay, so he's going to take 2 damage.
Okay, so that's 2 more.
Yeah. And now allies do 2 more damage to him for the rest of the turn.
Okay.
Okay, so now I will use double dealing.
Yep, okay.
Which is my manipulation magic, which first of all has a movement of 1. So I'm going to move into the trap.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, 3 damage. That's not great. That is half of Raph's health. Raph, what you doing, man? Come on. Okay, that's half of that. That's half of his health. But he's now going to deal 2 damage, increased to 4 to Mr. Tiger. Are you going to manipulate that? Are you going to negate that at all?
Unfortunately, I still can't.
Okay, so he's now going to take 4 damage.
Okay, so, and another 1.
But, because it has double, he's going to deal 4 again to him.
So that's it.
So he's off the field.
He is already off.
Okay, so when you lose a character, they move off of the field, back to here, back to your entry point. They can be brought back on by using one of your cards to bring them back in. I gain a point. And because Raph was the one who took him out, Raph levels up. So Raph's attacks now gain poison. Okay. If I had poison on that last time, I think we would have been doing 8 damage per hit there.
Yeah.
Something crazy. I might be wrong.
Too much damage.
Okay, so I'm now going to discard these last 2 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw my 5 and flip these back over.
First of all, so Xu Zhao is out for now.
Yeah, you can bring him back in now if you want to.
Oh, okay.
If you use one of your, if you use a card.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that.
That allows it. Basically, has to give him movement onto the field.
Sure. Ooh,
we haven't mentioned as well these standard actions over here. If you're stuck in a point where you can't do something, you have access to the standard actions. Now these are weaker than your normal actions, but they will allow you to do extra things. So basically, for using any of them, you can move any champion 2. If you use a blue, you can. If you use a manipulation, you can move 1 and plan 1. Plan 1 allows you to put a card from your hand back on top of your deck, so you know you'll get it next time.
Okay.
A creation allows you to move 1 and heal 1. And a destruction allows you to move 1 and deal 1 damage to an adjacent enemy.
Okay.
What's going on, Tom?
Too much going on. I'm going to actually remove the red core.
So you're going to spend your destruction magic.
So I can put him on. That won't deal the damage, unfortunately.
You could just use it as a basic movement if you wanted to get the 2 movement, though.
True.
Rather than just 1.
Yeah, sure. So I've still spent the same red core, but I'm going to move 2.
See how nice I am to you, Tom?
Yeah, thank you. And then next, I'm going to use...
It's pretty busy over this area, isn't it?
I know. It's very crowded. Can't wait to see the miniatures all crowded up as well. Yeah. If I spend the yellow core...
Yep.
I can move Darien 2 spaces. So 1, 2.
Yeah.
And then we spring the trap. Gonna move her. So this allows me to move her 2. Do I want to stand in the trap?
Stand in the trap. Stand in the trap. Stand in the trap.
Sure. We'll stand in the second trap.
You're just suicidal, you are.
Which is
come on,
just 1 damage, which is what I was hoping for. So nothing too much. So I'll just put it straight on Darien. And then the next part of the attack.
Okay.
The attack can attack up to 4 squares away.
Yeah.
And it's not stopped by straight lines, so it can go over objects.
Yeah.
So I'm going to choose to attack Raph.
Oh no.
It does 2 damage, but if the target is in a trap hex, which Raph is, it will do an extra 2 damage. And if he survives, he will be stunned, but I don't think he's going to survive.
Well, maybe I've got a reaction that I'm going to play.
Maybe.
I don't.
So yeah, Darren's springing the trap because Raph's stood in the trap.
He got to level up for about 5 seconds. Okay, so that is Raph. Why did he have to spring that high damage trap? Okay, so that means Raph now moves back down to being basic level, and Darren gets to move up.
Oh yeah.
So take him out.
Oh yeah. So Darren levels up.
You get a point.
Oh, hey. So Darren does not activate traps and gains 2 bonus armor whilst on a trap, which is good for me right now.
That is good for you right now.
So that's great. And yeah.
Okay.
That's over for me.
Okay, right. So that is the end of that turn. So again, we move the board across.
Yep.
So these are all moving across. So currently, a couple of these are now worth. So have 2 or more adjacent to Esme's statue is now worth 1. Have 2 or more champions and trap hexes is worth 2. And control the manipulation area is worth 2. Now they're going to start to devalue after this and actually completely move out eventually. Yep. So let's bring a new one in.
Ooh.
And the new one in is control the enemy deployment area.
Okay.
So you need to get into the enemy deployment area. Okay, so over to me.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we should have replaced the trap.
Oh, we should have replaced the trap.
Yes.
So I should have got to place a new trap out, shouldn't I?
Yes, and then I should have placed one as well.
Oh, when did the second trap?
So you stood on one with Raph and...
Oh, yeah, I should have placed one. Yeah, okay, we'll put one over here.
Okay, and then with Darren, I will place it where Raph was. Because he would have been...
Yeah, he would have moved by that. He would be...
I know that. No, because I would have stood on it. So it has to go here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to start getting some people moving. Do you want to bring Raph back in? Maybe not right now. We need to start controlling some of these points, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of control points going on.
Now this one, by the time I actually get to score it, is going to have only dropped to be worth 1 for controlling this. But let's go with a... Let's give up the red core.
Sure.
Let's give up the red core to move any hero 2.
Yep.
Actually... Yeah, let's do that. And over to here. Okay. Yep, so we're moving Goldar over there. You know what, it's going to be a full core round today. Okay. I'm going to spend my gold core to move Dogger to here for 2.
Yep.
And I'm going to spend the blue core to bring Raph back in.
Okay, sure.
With a...
So it's just a lot of movement.
Just a lot of movement. There we go. So now I've got to discard all these cards. Draw back up. So I can only draw 1.
Yep.
Which means that I reshuffle this and draw back up.
Okay.
So that's 2, 3, 4, 5.
So...
So first of all, we look to see if you're scoring anything, which you are currently not.
No. That's what I was just looking at, actually. So I think... Because I've kind of got a bit of a theme going on here.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to it.
Okay.
So, I'm going to use Flash of Jade with Xu Zhao.
Yeah.
Which allows him to move 2 squares, or 2 hexes, sorry.
Yeah.
And he's going to move onto a trap.
Oh, just keep chucking him at the traps, right?
And he takes, 3 damage.
Ouch.
Oh,
you shouldn't have had that through, actually. No, that's fine.
There we go.
Okay.
And then, but he gets to deal damage to each enemy in this little cone. So that'll be this square, this square, this square, until they are bloodied.
Ooh,
so bloodied is half the health but rounded up.
That is a bad one. Right, so Goldar's going to take 3 damage to put him on half health.
Ouch.
And Doggerin is going to take 3 as well to put him on half health.
Yep, cool.
Okay, so that's your first action. So what are you going to do for the next one?
Okay.
Oh, first of all, we need to put a new trap out, actually.
Yep. So
because of your incessant nature of running into traps.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Okay, so the new trap's down. I still have my creation and manipulation cores left. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the manipulation core to... Actually, I'm going to decide to just move 2 with Kalel. So Kalel's going to move here.
Okay.
And then with the creation core,
we're
going to choose to do a double jump. So before the attack, we get to jump 3 squares. We'll deal 2 damage, and then after the attack, I can jump another 3 squares.
Okay, so you can jump in, do a bit of attack, and jump out again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 squares and deal 2 damage to Raph.
Okay, I am going to. I'm going to use intimidation.
Okay.
No.
No? Okay.
I'm not going to use intimidation.
You couldn't intimidate me anyway.
You,
Look at me.
Come on.
I'm riding on a dinosaur and I've got a blowtorch.
Yeah, a mad-looking dinosaur.
Not
a blowtorch. A blowpipe.
Blowpipe.
Fly around with a blowtorch at people, coming at a rat. Right, so that's 2 damage to Raph, yeah?
Yeah, 2 damage.
Yeah, from the blowtorch.
Yeah, from my blowtorch.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to decide to jump free after my attack.
Yeah, just jump into that trap.
Alright. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to jump to here,
actually. I see. Oh, that's sneaky.
I'm going to jump behind you. And then that is my turn over with.
Okay, so now that we've both had our turns... Right, so this is going to move across.
Yep.
This is going to move across. This is going to move across. This is going to move across. We're going to move a new one in, which is to have 3 champions adjacent to the same statue. But at this point, I do control the manipulation area.
Yep.
So that is done. So I get 1 point for that. And I do have 2 adjacent to Esme's statue. So that's another 2. I'm amazed you let me get away with that, Tom.
I have a plan.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay, so now what happens is these patches will stay empty. So if things do just move along as they did, there's just going to be some empty patches on the scoreboard. So, right now, let's have a look what you're going for. So, you do have 2 on traps, I believe. Yep. Ooh, and you do control the enemy deployment. Yep. So, let's try to stop some of those, or take someone out. Because if I can take somebody out, I can gain 1 point, and I can win this. Got a plan.
Okay.
Let's see how this goes for me.
Yep.
This could go badly. I'm going to use Nightshade for Wrath, which is plan 1, which means I get to put a card back on top of the deck.
Yep. Put
this one back on top of the deck. And Wrath's next attack this turn gains poison.
Okay.
Poison doubles the damage on attack.
Yep.
Okay. So that has used my manipulation. Now I will use Burrow. Yep. So Burrow is a movement of 1 to here, a range of 2 to 3.
Yep.
So 1, 2, 3. For a damage of 3, which is doubled to 6, which will kill.
It will.
Zuzar, or whatever his name is. Have you got anything to stop that, Tom?
No.
Have you not?
No. Unfortunately not.
Really? You don't?
No.
So, one thing that we haven't spoken about is the fact that reactions, you don't have to just... So, if it's one of Suzar's reactions, he doesn't have to just use it on himself.
Actually,
somebody else could... Oh, no, I should have stopped speaking.
Actually,
right.
Looking back, I have Ambush. So, it has +1 armour.
Okay.
So, I can give that to Xu Zhao.
Yeah.
And Darren will be placed adjacent to the attacker.
Okay, so he gets 1 armour.
Yep.
So that is going to be reduced to 5 damage.
Yep.
So he dashes 2 after the target, ignoring enemy traps. So he dashes 2 to here. So I actually don't think Darren's moving.
Oh well.
And actually, you moving there could have been bad for you.
I mean, I could have stood on another trap. There's 2 traps.
Yeah, there's traps everywhere. Okay, so that's that for my yellow core. And now I think I'm just gonna scumbag you. I think with my red core, I'm just gonna let Goldar knock you for 1 damage.
Okay. Yep.
Which brings you up to 9, right?
No, it does.
It brings you to 9.
It does.
1 more point for me.
Damn it.
I'm sorry, Tom.
That's all right.
I mean, you beat me at UK Games Expo.
I know, it's true. So. It's true. I mean, I would have been up to 4 points, and I may have been able to kill you, so...
You were close,
I think I could have killed you, so if you didn't win
Who
that
do you think
turn...
you could have killed?
I think I could have killed Raph.
Do you? Raph is... I really like Raph. He's the person I've been most excited to play with this. He was doing some serious damage there.
He was good. He just... I could kill him quite quickly
he is squidgy.
if I had a chance.
He is squidgy. But unfortunately today, victory is mine. So, this is Super Fantasy Brawl. I hope you've enjoyed the video. We really enjoyed this game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this game.
It's a great game. It's on Kickstarter right now. Well, if now is still sometime towards the end of June to the beginning of July. But even if it's not still on Kickstarter, it's not going to be a Kickstarter game only. This is going to retail.
Wow.
So there's going to be a starter set, which I believe this might be inaccurate. I think the starter set comes with a board and six of the characters.
Yes,
it's going to be really well priced. From what I understand, they're going to be releasing new heroes quite regularly, probably about like £10 for a new hero plus all their cards. These guys really do look amazing. I'm going to put some more back up right now. I mean, the painting on these characters that you'll be looking at right now is fantastic. But we've seen them unpainted as well, and they still look good.
They're still nice, yeah.
I mean, if Tom was going to paint them, they'd look rubbish. But like that squid.
Yeah. I still not finished that squid, but...
There's no saving that squid, Tom. Anyway, this is Super Fantasy Brawl. Make sure you check it out. It's honestly a great game, and I know the guys at Mythic are going to be doing an awesome job with all of the OP stuff coming afterwards, the competitive play.
It'll be amazing for this.
So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Remember, this is House Rule. If you've enjoyed it, please remember to hit that subscribe button. There might not be a lot of videos up on this channel right now, but trust me, there's going to be tons coming up very, very soon. How do you feel, Tom?
I'm a bit gutted, but I like my little team I picked, and maybe I'll stick with them in a future game. I'm really enjoying Raph. You know what? I think Raph did most of the work there. Yeah. If it wasn't Raph, it was just your guys running onto traps. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, and we will see you in the next video.